Eric stared at the old grandfather clock as the pendulum swung back and forth. He was in a clock shop with his grandmother while his grandmother exclaimed from across the shop. People looked at her like she was crazy as Eric walked over.
Let me guess. The perfect clock?
His grandmother nodded with a grin and pointed at it. It was one of those clocks you'd hang on the wall. It was brown and some of the paint was chipped. It was very broken and the second hand wasn't moving like the other hands.
It's perfect. It's like the clock is calling my name with every tick and tock.
Mother said as she took it to the counter. She seemed to see something that he didn't.
Oh boy.
Eric's grandmother had bought the clock and placed it on a wall in her living room.
Now when someone walks in, they can see this wonderful clock.
Eric had to help her repair it a bit, but after he fixed it, it looked almost new.
I did not expect it to look so new after repairs.
Eric chuckled.
I have some errands to run, and I won't be back until later tonight. I'm going to leave you here alone. Is that alright?
Eric nodded and walked up to his room. His grandmother left the house after turning off the lights and locking the door behind her. Later that night, Eric was beginning to wonder what his grandmother meant by later tonight. She had been gone since 4 p.m., and it was now 9 p.m. Eric went downstairs and heard the tiny clock ticking. Eric walked into the kitchen to grab something to eat. He opened the fridge and made himself a sandwich. After finishing, he heard something fall in the living room. Eric ran into the living room to see the clock had fallen off the wall. When he picked it up, it looked exactly how it did when his grandmother bought it.
What the hell?
Eric repaired the clock once again and hung it back up. He walked back into the kitchen and grabbed his sandwich off the plate, then began eating it. As Eric began walking up the stairs, he heard the clock fall again.
What the fuck? That's twice!
He stated angrily and walked into the living room looking for the clock. The clock was gone. Eric looked around the room hoping to find it, but it was no use. Eric heard a sound from upstairs. He sighed and walked up the stairs. Each step he took made a ticking sound like a clock. Eric reached the top, it stopped. The whole house was silent. Eric walked into his room and saw the lights were off.
I don't remember turning off my lights.
Eric gulped and sat at his computer. He put his headphones on and began watching YouTube. Halfway through the video, he heard ticking again. He paused the video and the ticking kept going.
I think I'm gonna call my grandmother now.
Eric mumbled and stood up, turning towards the door. Sitting in the doorway, shattered, was the little clock.
Holy crap, how did it get there?
Eric's eyes widened. Eric grabbed his phone and quickly dialed his grandmother's number. He listened to this phone ring, but another sound caught his attention. Somewhere in the house, he heard his grandmother's ringtone. Eric walked towards the sound and he came to his grandmother's closet. Through the door, he could hear the ringtone clearly, so he opened the closet door. When he opened it, a head fell out and landed at Eric's feet. It was his grandmother's head. Eric screamed and ran towards the room's door, but it closed before he could reach it. Eric heard the ticking again. It got louder and louder and louder. Eric banged on the door loudly. Then, Eric slumped against the door, no longer moving. His ears began pouring blood as the ticking sound stopped. The brown clock was sitting on Eric's lap, broken, but with the words, "What a beautiful clock," written across the front in blood.
Hello, Nightlings. I hope you enjoyed this story that I wrote. The name of this story is The Sound a Clock Makes. I know, it's very stupid. I hope you enjoyed it, though. I made it myself. The video keeps on going for a little bit. You don't have to keep watching it. That's the end of the story. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you liked it, leave a like. Subscribe for more content. Let's see. If we get to 10 likes, I'll do another video like this. Oh my god, the editing was not fun. Trust me. Editing is not easy. Especially for this video. I am so happy to be done with it, but I hope you enjoy it, because I worked really hard on it. So, see you next time. See you in the next video. In the next Mondays with Zach.